Hi guys, so I just wanted to do a quick video reacting to the Accelerate Aptera campaign that Aptera launched this morning. So if you go onto the Aptera website now, it says, "We are ready, #Accelerate Aptera. Our production plan is ready to go. To get started right away, the first 2,000 vehicle reservations are ranked by investment amounts of $10,000 plus, now through March 26th. So before this was launched, the ambassadors were asked if this was a good idea or not, and everybody seemed to agree. From what I could tell, that everybody thought that this campaign was a good idea. Obviously, this is not going to please everybody because it is going to push back several people from their place in the queue. So that might be hard to stomach for some people who are really looking forward to getting their Aptera first, but in the long run, it will also increase the speed at which we all get our Apteras, including the people that would have been first on the list, by making it to production that much quicker. At least that's the idea behind it, and I think it rings true to me at least. It's hard to say in the long run what would have happened if they'd done this a different way, but when you look at all the other SEV companies and the approaches that they've used to raise capital to reach production, you can see that all of them are having problems at the exact same point, and that is meeting these enormous costs of tooling and getting into production, which is a huge hurdle and is basically the last big hurdle. Now, fortunately for Aptera, they've already started some of the tooling for production, which means that some of those costs have already been absorbed, and now they're just looking for this extra 20 to 50 million to be able to start production, which in the grand scheme of things is really not that much. So now it's not a question of if Aptera is going to hit production, it's more of a question of how quickly can they get into production. And this seems to be a very sensible way to do it, in my opinion. So I think this has happened because Aptera has been able to see what has happened to the other companies that were technically ahead of them, like Sono and Lightyear. And because of that, they're able to judge what the other companies have done and react differently and say, okay, maybe this is a better idea to do it this way, and see if we can get more funding from the investors quicker, long before we ever come to the point where we have to say, okay, now we need to save the project. This is a much more proactive approach. This is much more positive in the way that it's attacking the problem head on and saying, no, we want to get to production now. We do not want to wait until we are in a situation where we can no longer afford to continue. Now, this seems to be quite a groundbreaking approach for this industry, at least. I've never heard of any company attempting to do it in this way, so it will be fascinating to see how successful it is. When you look back at the very first Tesla vehicles, obviously those are worth a small fortune now and will be worth even more in the future. Will that hold true for Aptera? I can't say, but if Aptera becomes a very big successful company and this is the genesis point that started it all, then there is a very good chance that the first Aptera will be worth a small fortune. The only flaw I see in this approach is that it might have blindsided quite a lot of people. If you're not expecting this opportunity to come up, then you might have spent money on something else, or you might not have access to it at such a short notice. A lot of people do have that kind of money lying around. Let's hope that there's enough people with that kind of cash around to be able to fill these first 2,000 places that will really accelerate the whole Aptera production. In terms of finances, Aptera is still in a very secure place. They're just trying to get into production quickly, which will be very good for them if they then go public with a vehicle that is already on the road. That will mean that the investors who are investing now this second will get a much better deal because the price of the shares will jump that much higher because it will be a much safer bet once Aptera goes public and people can see that they can already produce vehicles. So this is basically a win-win situation for most people involved. I'm a little bit jealous for the people that will be able to put down a large sum of money now and get that first Aptera. I'll be interested to see who does it. And to everybody that is thinking of investing at least that $10,000 now in Aptera, well, I applaud you because every dollar they get now means that we are going to see Aptera that much quicker on the road and on our own driveways. Now, at the moment, the Accelerator Program leaderboard does seem to be working. It does say updated daily starting January the 30th, 2023 in the top right-hand corner, but the commitment dates appear to be from the 27th of January. So it does look like it's updating at least once a day already. I haven't seen any change in it in the past hour that I've checked it. I'm assuming that means that it's going to get updated at the same time every day, roughly, and then you'll see where you are on the leaderboard then. Okay, that's my thoughts on it for now, guys. Please leave your comments down below. I'm very interested to find out what you guys think of this move. Do you think it'll work? How much money do you think they will get? And do you think it's a fair trade-off for getting the Aptera on the roads that much quicker? And best of luck to Aptera and all the investors who are now competing for the top spot. See you next time, guys.